Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel with me, Ivan Florentino, and for today's video I am drawing Eve from the game Stellar Blade for the PlayStation 5. And if you haven't already done so, I do have two live stream videos with this Stellar Blade where I first started off drawing it in pencil and then I inked it with Micron ink pens, following with watercolor pencils and also some regular watercolor paint as well. Okay, so for this tutorial, I started off with a drafting pencil, meaning that I drew it in a very light pencil sketch, and this made it super easy to erase if I made any mistakes. So I kind of wanted to stylize Eve with a more of a graphic look, and this is actually one of the styles that I like to use, is do pencil and then do some detailed hatching line work with Micron ink pens. And then for this one, since I hadn't done watercolor painting in such a long time, that's how I colored this one. So I started off with the face first, and I did like how it looks with the flowing hair, the flowing sides of her hair on her ears, the bangs, and then the long ponytail that she has. And then I started with the midsection where she has so much intricate details like the small tie. There's a lot of belt buckles, loops, and things coming from the neck surrounding her body in her chest area. Because she is this cyborg, she does have a lot of those qualities where it's like a tight suit, a lot of mechanical, plus the human body figure where everything kind of hugs around her. That these Micron ink pens are easy to put in all that intricate detail. And I didn't go in so much detail on the sword just because I knew that one was going to be in more shadow later on. That's when I started using this graphic pen that came with the set. This one, I started off darkening her hair because most of it is in shadow. You'll see that I'm going to start shadowing all of those areas that are just pitch black. So for coloring Eve, I decided to start with these watercolor pencils. And one of the next steps I went for was the hair, which was a orange. And that's where I left those intentional white areas in her hair because I knew I needed the orange. And then I went in with a bit of a red orange so that it stands out. And I purposely left the middle section of her bangs for highlights. And when I started adding in the water, that's when it started coming together, that brown tones that she had in her hair. And one of the things I did was directly dip the watercolor pencil in the water, and that makes it for a super detailed and rich color as well. So I tried that in a few spots. And then after coloring and painting in that sword, which I knew was mainly going to be in black, and then I added some yellow because I will be adding the yellow background at the very end. I knew there was going to be some yellow highlights around her entire body, mainly in the outer part of the body where almost like the sun is showing. And that's what I felt like really made this come together. And after playing the game, and let me know down in the comment section below if you did play Stellar Blade, one of the reference photos and most of the reference photos that you see out there, there is this very distinct yellow tone in the background where there's like explosions. It's very almost like in a sunset dystopian desert look. So there's a lot of oranges, yellows, and that's what I did for her entire body. As you can see here, I used this large palette of different yellows, oranges, and kind of diluted it just a bit. And I added that all around her suit, and this helps it feel like she's in that specific area. And at the very end, what I felt like made this come together very well was play around with all of those green tones that I have. So this large watercolor compartment pigments that I have, I experimented with the darkest one and it looked really cool. It had this very, I like to say, metallic dark green that just came together very well. So I added that to her green suit, making sure to blend in where it needed to. And it just looks very sci-fi with that glossy finish. And at the very end, to correct some mistakes and add some highlights, I used my trusted white Jelly Roll pen. I added some highlights into her irises, a little bit of her hair and her bangs, into the suit, into some of those highlight areas, and that just makes some of those highlights pop. And that is how I completed Eve from Stellar Blade. So let me know down in the comment section below if you like this tutorial, and thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.